All right, welcome to Rattling the Brain, episode 5. Today we are here with TMU basketball player Aaron Rhooms. Aaron is a third-year business management student. He was a finalist for Athlete of the Year for TMU Men. A lot of accolades on this guy. Aaron, appreciate your time here. Appreciate you being here.
Yeah, my pleasure. My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right, so just to kick it off here. So I'm more of a hockey guy. I know a little bit about basketball, but more of a hockey guy. My love from the game kind of came from like watching it with my family, growing up around hockey. Where do you feel your love of basketball came from?
Yeah, I'm the same type of dude. My dad used to play ball in high school. He went to Martin Grove Secondary, just in Toronto. So like when I picked up he was the one who put the ball in my hands, really. So it was just him and I playing on the driveway or whatever. So just kind of that like relationship we built on basketball, really. Like that was one of our hobbies. When we do like. And then like my mom was a big Raptors fan too. So whenever the Raptors would play, we all just, sit down in the living room, watch it. Um, and then yeah, I was like I started playing more seriously, playing competitively. They were all at the games. So it was just a basketball family type thing. Um, we all found love from it, either watching it or just them watching me play, that sort of thing. So yeah.
So leading into the next one here is obviously been playing basketball your whole life since you were a kid, but was there like a certain age or a certain time where you kind of realized that you had the potential to like go further than like high school and play like a U sports type basketball?
Yeah, like I recall like the specific moment. I mean, like I think it was like grade 9 summer or something like that. And I had a pretty good year, I guess, in high school, like best player on the team, that sort of thing, like doing different things, getting like my name out there and whatnot. And I remember my pops asking me like, you really have an opportunity to do something out of this. Like, do you want to do it? And I told him like, yeah, like I want to. So it was just ever since then, it was like we were just working, and I just worked from there. And I was like, okay, like I could really take this beyond like just hooping on the driveway.
Yeah, so I came to a couple TMU basketball games this year. It's actually pretty fun, but on the court, like you don't really look like the biggest guy. But I remember like a couple weeks ago, I was just outside the Eng building one morning and I saw you there. I'm like, God damn, like this guy is massive. Did you usually have like growing up, did you have like a height advantage over guys, or were you kind of like a late grower in that kind of way?
I was always like the tallest person really. Like I remember back in elementary school, I was always the tallest person in the class. Like I was in the tallest person since I don't know, kindergarten really. And I feel like I've always had like an advantage because, I used to be like a little more stockier, like a little more heavier and like, but I was still tall. So it's like moving like guys around wasn't really an issue. It kind of balanced out when I got to like, you know, 12th grade, like first year uni, where guys were like, relatively the same height, same strength. So it was like up until that point, relatively like I had a really big advantage. Like even now sometimes, like, maybe not height wise, but definitely like strength wise, I find myself advantages. But yeah,
Nice.
definitely.
Nice. So same kind of thing. Like I play a sport. I'm a goalie too myself in hockey. And
Mm,
obviously I go out there and like my personal goal is just kind of to give my team a chance to win. You know, you're not going to do it all one
mm,
person. When you step on the
yeah.
basketball court, what's your goal every game? Like what are you trying to do? What kind of mindset are you trying to go out with? Like what's your personal goal when you step on that court?
Honestly, I just try and do whatever the team needs to win, really. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't really like to go out there and say, like, oh, I got to score like 30. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not really, as much as I could do it, it's not the right way to play. I want to get guys involved. I want to play the right way, play our system, try and like get guys to play within our system as well. So, just whether it's rebounding, like scoring the ball, passing the ball, playing defense, whatever it may be, just try to get the team to win.
Go. So one of the things that I was wondering, actually a personal question I wrote myself, just out of genuine curiosity, is,
Mm.
what kind of drills do high level basketball players do? Like when you're not like just working on shooting the ball, scoring the basket, what are you doing outside off the basketball court? What kind of drills, what kind of like work are you doing out there?
Yeah, definitely. Like, it's a lot of speed work involved, like I think the best, type of thing that I can compare it to is like soccer player work. You want to have quick feet because it's going to help you agility wise. You got to be able to like laterally move quick, start quickly from A to B, decelerate, that sort of stuff. So like a lot of like ladder work, agility work, strength training. So like um, your squats, your deadlifts, making sure that you're explosive, that sort of stuff. So, yeah, it's not that much of just like on court stuff. You definitely need to be in the weight room, get on the track, condition, that sort of thing, because play at a high level. And if you're a high level player, you're going to be playing a lot. So you need to make sure that you can hang around in the game.
Yeah, that's kind of one of the things, right? Like everyone's just so big and like you get bodied
Yeah,
around if you're not like
that's
putting in a lot of
exactly
work. So just keep
most
it
dead.
going like that and try and keep up with everyone else because everyone else
Yeah,
is big,
facts.
so you got to keep on going. I know you mentioned your
Facts.
your mom and your dad, but can you name any like coaches or anyone else who's been like kind of like an influence to you or kind of like helped you get to where you are today?
Yeah, I mean, like my university coach right now, Coach Dave DeVero, ever since I came into, university basketball, he's been there to just like guide me on the court, just like he's a great coach to the X and O. So I feel like my basketball IQ, basketball knowledge has just like expanded exponentially since I met him. And, just like I can tell you, like even during the recruiting process, like he pulled up to some of my games just to like show love and like really like emphasize how much he wanted me to be a part of the TMU program. So like we definitely have a good relationship in that regard. And he's just helped me out, helped me get opportunities with Canada basketball. So yeah, I feel like he's in my corner that
No,
way.
definitely. Having a coach who like really like actually cares about you and is like there for you,
Yeah,
that like means it all. Put in that extra effort for him, go the extra mile.
yeah, no cap.
So for like a young athlete who's kind of getting into basketball and like has that mindset where they kind of want to take it as far as they can and max out their potential, what advice would you
Mhm.
give to them in order for them to really realize what it takes to play U Sports basketball and to compete at a high level each and every day?
Yeah, I mean, like, as cliche as it sounds, like it's work ethic, obviously. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be in the gym, but it's more just like surrounding yourself with people who are on the same wave as you. You know what I'm saying? Like you are a product of your environment. So it's like if you're surrounded by guys who, or women who are not like trying to get to the same point of you, they're just gonna drag you down. So it's like being surrounded by people who are trying to do the same thing. It doesn't even have to be sports even. It's just like who are willing to work hard, put in the extra work, put in the extra effort, and that sort of thing. And just believe in yourself too. That's a big part of it as well. You gotta believe in your abilities, gotta trust the work, have faith in the work, and you're gonna be all right.
So talking on like dedication and stuff, would you say that's like one of the most important things in order to succeed? Like, having the skills, having the height, having the size is one thing, but like, would you say that dedication is like one of the most important things for a young athlete?
Yeah, it is. I mean, like skills and all that are only gonna take you so far. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta rely on like your discipline, you gotta rely on your dedication, to get you through the tough days, when things aren't really working out, you know what I'm saying? So it's like just making sure that you're really dedicating what you want to do. And then things will just work out, that sort of thing.
There you go. I don't know how superstitious of an athlete you are, but I'm gonna give you a little scenario here. Let's say you guys have a 7 o'clock game. Break down like what the day kind of looks like before that. How are you getting into the game, like sleep, diet, and do you have any
Hmm.
superstitions that you do before your games?
Well, yeah, I'll just break it down like a typical game day. So I try to like get as much sleep as I can. I feel like I operate the best with like 8+ sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like I find like 9 hours is kind of like pretty good for me to be optimal for the day for the game. So it's like try to get 9 hours of sleep. Have a relatively big lunch because you don't want to eat too crazy before the game. So I'll probably have a big lunch and then come down, have some snacks, maybe a smoothie or something. A few hours before the game just to make sure that I'm full. And throughout the day, like yeah, I'll just probably watch the other team scout. Whatever it is. Players that I may guard. In terms of superstitions, nothing crazy. I mean, I just really like to just listen to music. I guess I can't really like go into a game unless I listen to like my few favorite songs or favorite artists. Like it just doesn't feel right. You know what I
Who are
mean?
some of the artists? Let us know.
Uh, my favorite artist right now is Yeet. Right now, I listen to Cardi a little bit. A
Valid.
lot of them Opium Boys. Ken Carson, Troy Lonely, most of them guys. So yeah, that really helps me get in my groove.
Solid. Do you guys like, because I know the women's team usually plays before you guys. Do you guys get like a chance to shoot around before the game? Like, do you get there early and like shoot around ever, or is that like kind of just a thing that you do on off days?
Yes. So we'll have like a shoot around like earlier in the day. So say yeah, we'll play at like 7 or 8. Probably come in at like 2, 3, get an hour of shooting around, go over scout, that sort of thing. And yeah, it's tough. Like as much as I'd want to, like, before the game, just get some shots in, get a workout in, just make sure things are sharp. The women's play, so it's tough. But I'll try to get it in either, shortly after the shoot around, get some extra shots in, or come in early in the morning, maybe, or before I shoot, because there's always gym time. So yeah.
There you go. So I played high school ball. I'm like 5'11", so I was like riding the bench
Mm,
nonstop. But one of my buddies was
mm,
actually playing like played all the time, and he's actually a hooper too. He
word.
was also one thing I saw with him though is when he was on his game. Like he just wouldn't miss shots, but he had terrible body language. If he missed the shot, just mentally you knew he was done and he just wasn't making any more. Obviously, you're gonna have your
Mm.
off days, as a basketball player. It's gonna be days where your shots just aren't falling, but how do you mentally stay in the game, when things just aren't going your way? How important is your mentality to kind of bring you back and help your team get that win?
Yeah, I can understand. Like, it's really tough, sometimes when your shots aren't going in, because, for me, like, I really love the game. I care for the game, and I just want to do like what I'm capable of. So it's struggling when, the work isn't really applying. But yeah, I just try and like find other ways to impact the game. If my shot's not going in or something's not working on the offensive end, I'll try to get it on the defensive end, or just rebounding the ball, or something as little as just talking to teammates. It's an underrated thing, but it goes a long way for guys to feel motivated. So I'm always trying to find something that's working for me that night, to help the team win.
How important would you say confidence is in your game? If you have that confidence behind you, does that make that much of a difference to your game?
It's huge, man. Like, and like, as you like r- go up in the levels of basketball, you realize how much confidence plays a role. Because it gets to a point where it's like everybody's good. You feel me? So it's just a matter of like how much do you believe in yourself and the work that you put in, and the things in your toolbox, and like how much you believe in yourself. So it's a huge thing. And I'll probably like preach that before anything, because it's like you can be the best player, but if you don't got no confidence, it's like not gonna help you. You feel me?
Yeah, so follow up on that. What advice would you give to like someone who's a little bit younger, who's just going through that slump right now and has absolutely no confidence in their game? What's like some advice you can give to them to, try and get back on track?
Yeah, like remind yourself of the things that you do well. I think that helps. Like affirmations. It's a cliche, but like the cliches for a reason. Remind yourself of what you're good at. You know what I'm saying? Like remind yourselves of the good games. Remind yourselves of what you've accomplished. Surround yourself, if you have like your support system. Holler at them and be like, you know what, I'm feeling this type of way, and I'm sure they'll help you get through it. And the important thing, like if you're struggling with confidence, just realize like you're gonna get out of it. Like slumps are slumps. They're just like temporary things. So it's just keeping the faith in who you are, and like what you're able to do, and things will work out.
Yeah, that's a thing. Like you kind of just don't want to be doing too much or like thinking like I gotta make this bucket or I gotta
Yeah,
then you just start
exactly.
losing
It's
track.
just rattling.
So
Yeah, I hear you.
just a couple more for you here. This is actually a fun
No
one. What
worries.
would you say is your absolute best moment ever as a basketball player? It could be a game-winning shot, big tournament, big opportunity. What would you say is your best moment?
Oh man, I think probably would be when I won the National Rookie of the Year.
Oh wow.
Um, it was really surreal because I just won the provincial Rookie of the Year for our division,
Mhm.
and I was like, already like blown away with that. Like that was a huge accomplishment. And I just, remember receiving a phone call from my coach, like, hey, like you just got awarded as, the Canadian Rookie of the Year. And I was like, I just had no words. I just remember running down to my mom, like, just like, hey, like, this just happened. And I just remember like we just embraced, I embraced my sister, and it was just like it was just a really good moment, because it was just like a testament to all the sacrifices they made, and sacrifices I made, and my family. It's just like it all led up really to that moment, and it was just like it was also a reminder of like, yeah, like you're supposed to be here, So it was a really good moment.
Definitely like one of those moments that like shows you that like the hard work pays off, eh?
Exactly,
Right
exactly.
there. So growing up, did you have like an NBA player that you idolized, like watching on TV?
Um, Not like so my favorite player of all time is Scottie Pippen. I feel like he's like a great two-way player. He shoots the ball well, he can defend, great size. But really growing up, I just like watching basketball. So it wasn't really no particular player that I just watched. You feel me? Um, so yeah. But yeah, I try to watch like old Scottie Pippen highlights, you know what I'm saying? Like that sort of thing.
If you had to compare your game to one current NBA player, someone who you try and like play kind of like or try and take things from, someone you maybe appreciate, what NBA player currently would that be?
Probably DeMar DeRozan, I'd probably say, you know
I
what I'm
like that.
saying? Like, cause he likes to play a lot in the mid range, and I find myself there too. He has great footwork, you know what I'm saying? So like it seems like he can just operate in a box, you know what I'm saying? Like if he was put in a box, he would just like be able to get a shot off or whatever when it mattered who's in front of him. Um, I try to watch a little bit of Shea Gilgeous-Alexander recently. He's tough. He's on the up and come up. I think he's like one of the finalists right now for the MVP of the league or something. But yeah, I really just like to look at guys who are like, mid range specialists in a way, because that's what I do.
It's cool with SGA, right? Like you got Nash, obviously the
Yeah,
best Canadian of all time, but if SGA keeps this up for like another 10 years, I
yeah.
could so see him being the best Canadian basketball player of all time.
I'm
So
saying, yeah, he's
good
tough.
player,
He's tough.
really
Yeah,
good. Two more for you here. These last two questions are from my buddy Finn, sports media. He wanted me to ask you these
no
two, and I told
worries.
him to coming on the pod. So his question, I'm just going to read it off here, was the team has been openly very close this year on social media, and the overall vibe between them has been good all around. What do you think the cause of that is, and how much did it help you guys stay together and perform this year?
Yeah, like this team was like we were really close in it. Like we were always like behind the scenes, like we're always laughing, we're always getting along together. So it's like whatever you see on camera is like organic. It's not like forced or anything.
Hmm.
Like we're just that's who we are like as a group. Um, so yeah, I think it really helped us in just like staying intact, throughout the season when things didn't go well, whether it be on the court or on the court. Like we always had each other's back the best that we could. So I think it helped to our successes this season just because like we were that close in that group. You feel me?
Beauty. And the last one here is there's a ton of first years on the roster this year, from Mike
Mm.
Conway to Gabe Gutsmore to Kobe Charles, Greg, and the Twins. How confident are you in the young core for next year playing with you and in the future?
I'm super confident. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember training camp like back in the beginning of the year. I was like, yeah, these guys are good. Like not even like from just only a skill standpoint, like just a work ethic. I remember like my boy Greg, like that's my rook, so it's like he was just he he just work he's a workhorse, you know what I'm saying? Like he's like 5'11", but he's just going after rebounds and stuff, jumping with like 6'8" dudes, on the team, jumping with me sometime, Mike, I remember, he's like he has a great wingspan, 6'6", lean, get to the rack, you know, play in the mid range, that sort of stuff. All these rookies. And the thing about the Twins, like they're up at 7 a.m. like shooting in the gym. They're there before everybody, before after. So yeah, like I'm really confident in the future of the TMU program. You see Gabe just won, you know, was on the all rookie team for the years. Kobe too. Like they're all great guys, on and off the court. So it's like I think this basketball program's in good hands for sure.
I like it. Good for the future. Last question I'm throwing
Yeah.
at you. NBA Finals prediction. Who you got winning the championship this year?
I gotta give it to my guys in Boston, man. Like
Oh,
Jason Tatum, Jay Brown. Yeah, those are my guys, man.
solid team there. It's a good regular season.
Mm,
I
most
like it.
definitely.
I like it. Beauty.
Yeah.
That pretty much concludes the questions that we have for you. Appreciate you taking the
Mm,
time coming on the podcast.
my pleasure, man.
Definitely would love to do an episode with you after next season or sometime mid season, see how things are going. And yeah,
Sounds good.
definitely be checking out a bunch of games this year.
Word, word.
Hopefully it works out good. And yeah, wish the best for you this season and in the future, man.
I appreciate it. You too.
All right, man. All right, I'll cut it off here. Thank you guys for watching Rattling the Brain, episode 5 with Aaron Rooms. See y'all in the next video. Peace.